You're listening to the Board Game Snobs podcast, a ridiculous podcast with ridiculous hosts that discuss ridiculous things. And any mention of board games is purely coincidental. And so, without further ado, and with a heavy dollop of shame and embarrassment on my part, I give you the Board Game Snobs.
And welcome to another episode of the Board Game Snobs podcast. I'm your primary host, Gaby. With me today, primary guest host, Daniel Hughes.
Hello, Gaby. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. It's been a while since I've heard your voice in my ears.
Yeah. Well, I'd forgotten you were recording a podcast because you weren't mentioning the Golden Geeks. So I thought you'd quit.
Yeah. Well, you know, many people might have. The numbers would seem to say the same thing.
I've got theories about that, Gaby. I don't think you should worry about it. I've got theories about why the numbers are low. It's all about Spotify.
We have just a few loyal listeners left, just clinging on to the threads of what this once mighty podcast used to be.
Exactly. Well, I'm not surprised by the manipulative tactics you get people to follow you on various places. Oh, follow this link to go to Discord. All right, so I'm adding to your Discord follow account now, am I? And then we get there, and as usual, Discord's rubbish. I can't big delays and all that stuff, full of 12-year-old boys playing Overwatch,
or 43-year-old men chatting about board games.
Yeah, or 49-year-old men in my case.
I just was 43. I'm 48.
Oh, right. Are you 48? Okay, we're very close in age.
2 years to the big 50, and then what is the retirement age in England? When do you get to retire from your job?
Currently, well, you can retire whenever you want as long as you've got the money. But to get the state pension,
right?
It's 67, but it won't be 67 when I get there. It'll be 68.
You'll be dead by then. You won't get to retire.
I'm not retiring at 67. I've got lots of plans to retire at 60, and I'm working towards that as my financial goal. In fact, that's mainly what I do at work is look at my various pension things and try and work out if I can leave. I even recently got the assistant of, controversially, got the assistant of an AI bot to help me work out exactly how many shifts I have left at work, assuming I stay in my current position. It's only 1,000, I think 1,300, something like that. It's not many, really.
Wow. Look at you, being able to retire off that I made you a mixtape money.
Oh, yeah, baby.
With all your big extra tariffs added on for us.
Yeah, I know. And then he's put the tariffs back down, so I'm going to have to refund some of it.
Up, down. It's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride.
To be honest, we just wait. If we end up having asked for more money than we needed, we'll give some of it back. But we've ended up just saying we're going to wait to see what happens. Ultimately,
we'll say, we've recorded a quote unquote loss, guys, but we're going to do it for you. Doing it for the team. Massive asterisk starts rolling up in Rolls Royces all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll know.
That $3 per pledge is really going to tip us over the edge.
Mike DeLizio starts wearing gold chains to all his dice tower.
He does wear gold chains.
Of course he does.
He does. All that sweet dice tower money.
Yeah.
Do you know where he is at the moment?
Probably Hawaii or
Japan. He's in bloody Japan.
Good grief. Must be nice.
What a tool.
Good grief.
I know.
So, it really, it is actually, it's very nice to get in contact with you again. It's been a while since you've been on the show. You've, sporadically bored has gone to extremely sporadically bored.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's a reason for that. It's just we've been busy. And we've got everyone's money now for the mixtape, so there's nothing to shill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So no, it's just Mike's job's got busy, and I've been busy, and we get busy.
Yeah,
we don't hold ourselves this exhausting one show a week regime that you
do it for the people. We do it for the people. Well. All 7 of them.
Hey, to be honest, if you every day I don't know. I know you exaggerate with 7. I've said this before. Is every week you turned up at the local town hall and gave a talk, and the amount of people that listen to your podcast turned up at that town hall, you'd be very pleased with yourself.
Yes, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Not too shabs. Well, we really did. I jest about the Golden Geeks, which by the time this comes out, it's going to be several weeks gone by. But we used to, kind of be like, hey, shoot some votes out there. But then we stopped. And then I was actually ever surprised we got nominated because I really didn't think we had enough listeners that listen to us and also are involved in Board Game Geek because we're not even.
That's the key. That is the key. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't.
We didn't get nominated last year, and you did, I think.
No, not last year. No, we got nominated twice, 2 years in a row, and that was 2 years ago. And then
right.
But I mean, and I really do feel bad because there are. I mean, like Liz Davidson won. She talks to the designers, and she's heavy into it. And I mentioned previously she was designing that Night Witches board game, which I really was interested in. No, that's not distracting at all. Dan oils his luxurious. I can't. That's highly distracting. You have a luxurious oily beard. I got it. Anyway, so I mean, deservedly so. They are a board game podcast. Ben Maddox. Yeah, he didn't even hit the top 3 this year, but I mean, very much into. He has the news and just nonstop board game talk and talking to designers and talking to good episodes, and I mean, they're all into it. And me and Jerry, most of the time, talk about absolute everything else but board games.
It's the way of the future. We're ahead of the curve. I tell you, Gaby, this is going to catch up. All you need to do now is only release one once every month. No, every once every 2 months.
Yeah.
And then you've reached our heady heights.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, we record more than we play together anymore. But we still get together. We have we had just a couple weeks ago of this publishing went to BGG Spring.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was fun. It was a blast.
I'm very jealous of you going to the retreat, the Dice Tower retreat. That's looming, and he's making me feel incredibly jealous of going. Yeah. I'd have loved to go. If only I knew that it wouldn't be just the worst board game snob going the year after. I would have gone. As in, I would have gone this year, not last year.
Well, I mean, Jerry's quite convincing. I still fear getting on a plane. Especially since they've,
So say, why are you fearing that? It's not like they've made loads of cuts to the safety mechanisms.
No, it's not like the air traffic controllers are in complete chaos these days.
No, you'll be fine.
Fine. Yeah, I'm sure. But anyway, it's I look forward to that very much. It'll be nice. It'll be interesting. I'll grow as a person getting on the flight that I'm scared. Oh, here we go. See, boom.
Nice. Is that Enrique?
Yeah.
I used to have an Enrique Mask loomed interview, listeners. I used to have a Tom Vassell one that I made for a video of some description, and it was floating around my my office for ages. And when you keep looking at it going, I really should throw that away. To be honest, that's not. If someone came in who knew who Tom Vassell was, they'd be a little bit alarmed at my hero worship.
Well, and this one is like, you see the size difference. They're quite large. So they had some listeners had a first SnobCon, 4 members attended.
Nice.
And they printed out, they asked for some headshots and they laid them about the room to, we were there in spirit for them. It was very nice.
You didn't even attend?
No, we didn't go. It was like in Indiana somewhere. We don't go to Indiana.
Wasn't that just like a games day and they called it SnobCon? Is that what?
Basically,
happened?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's what happened. But it's like 4 different listeners did converge upon this one place from 4 different locations. Chicago.
Okay, fair enough. So you had brought people together.
We're bringing them together.
Yeah. Normally, like with the Dice Tower retreat, you descend on somewhere and people just choose not to go. That's the normal.
We have some repellent factors to us, but no, and the snobs we unite is what they said, something like that.
Nice.
But
well, you bring people together all the time.
We always do. I mean, it's what I try to do. That's what that's what we're all about, really.
Ultimately, that's the aim of your podcast, isn't it? Bring about world peace. That's ultimately.
I think we're almost there.
For.
I think we're almost there. Things are looking good.
Not so far to go now.
Things are all coming up snobs, as far as I'm concerned.
Jolly good. Jolly good.
But as far as other things, I was going to ask you a question. I found very interesting.
Well, when a man and a lady love each other very much.
I am very
special
curious.
Type of kissing.
I did have some misconceptions about that when I was a young man, but I shall not go into
that's interesting.
detail.
No, I remember as well, actually. I won't go into it either because I know you like to keep a clean thing here.
We like.
But I nearly asked my parents a question, which, in retrospect, I'm very glad I didn't. We're
a family show. We're a family show. Are you familiar with Mary Toft?
Sorry, Mary Toft.
Toft.
No.
Mary Toft was an English woman from Godalming. Godalming.
Hang on, I don't know. Is this Wikipedia we're looking at now? Mary Toft.
Says Godalming. I mean, it really could be a cuss word. Surrey. Surrey,
you idiot. But I think it would be Godalming. Godalming is how I would pronounce it, but I don't know the town.
She was an English woman from Godalming, Surrey, who in 1726...
Surrey, not Surrey, for God's sake.
became Surrey?
Yeah, Surrey.
Oh, not you, Surrey. See, now she's wanting to ask me, what? Do you have a question for me? She became the subject of
Alexa,
considerable...
play I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred.
I'm too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.
She became the subject of considerable controversy when she tricked doctors into believing that she had given birth to, care to take a guess?
Rabbits.
Look at you, looking at Wikipedia.
Well, I was looking at Wikipedia because I had to pronounce the Godalming or whatever it is. Yeah.
In 1726, she became pregnant, but following her reported fascination with the sighting of a rabbit, she miscarried. Her claim to have given birth to various animal parts. This is what's concerning. See, the initial thing that I saw was like she gave birth to rabbits, but then it's like going into detail. Animal parts prompted the arrival of John Howard, a local surgeon, who investigated the matter. He delivered several pieces of animal flesh and duly notified other prominent physicians. Long story short.
I was going to say, this is a long Wikipedia entry. We're just going to sit here and read it all out.
Long story short, yes. So she was, guess what? They discovered it was a hoax, and she confessed to the hoax and was subsequently imprisoned as a fraud.
Well,
but
that's what the mainstream media like you to think anyway.
several doctors were like, oh no, this is legit. It said the scandal had a lasting effect on public trust in the medical field, contributing to widespread skepticism about the competence and ethics of physicians during that era. Physicians during the 1700s. I mean, come on.
I was going to say, to be fair, the physicians back then, I'm not convinced it was the most rigorous of professions.
It's like, I think they were trying just using black magic back then for most things.
Lots of humours, wouldn't it? There's all the humours they used to do. They used to think people had too much bile and then they used to bleed them out and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised
bile,
anyone's
blood,
alive.
I can't remember what the other humours were. But anyway, it was load of bunkum is what it was.
What are humours?
A humour, it's like an element. Okay, right. Today, on Board Game Snobs, we are going to be reading out Wikipedia entries.
Yeah, sure. Jerry does it all the time. I'm not familiar with what humours are. I know what things are humorous.
Body humours. I don't know how to spell it.
Like the funny bone on the elbow?
According to humorism, 4 body fluids, blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm, determine a person's temperament, and imbalance leads to certain sicknesses depending on which humours were in excess or deficit. This is why they used to give put leeches on people to bleed them out to balance out the blood. They wanted to take the blood out, so they used to put leeches on people to suck it out. So that's why they used to use leeches, because they all believed in these bodily fluids dictated your level of health.
Like an amp with an equalizer. You had to like even them all out.
Very much so, where we all know that you just get your equalizer and just push them all to the top.
You got a little bit too much bile. Speaking of amplifiers equalizing the music, etc.
Oh,
something I've been concentrating on because it's not been board games. I can tell you that. Have you been playing any board games, Dan?
I haven't been playing. I played 2 board games a couple of days ago. The only person I play board games with these days is Mike the Pillock Pool, who is often listened to this podcast, so he may be listening. And I played Guildhall, which used to be one of my favourite games, and I remembered why it used to be my favourite games, because it's absolutely amazing. And is it Beyond the Stars?
Beyond the
Among the Stars. You're building a space station. Another old school classic.
Yeah, you use classic very loosely there.
I really like Among the Stars. I think I enjoyed it.
We played the implementation of that. That's the
Fields of Green.
Fields of Green.
Yeah.
We played Among the Stars. Didn't care for it. Fields of Green I like a little bit more, actually.
Yeah, that's one I've actually got. Mike's got Among the Stars. But no, I enjoyed it. So anyway, Guildhall's fantastic. I don't know if you ever played Guildhall.
I have not. I've heard of it in the past. I unrelated. I think I bought Guilds of London thinking it was Guildhall.
Ah. Well, that was probably a mistake.
Guilds of London was very dry Euro. It was good. Tons of iconography.
Yeah, that's the criticism of it.
Yeah.
It's Tony Boydell, isn't it, who did Snowdonia?
Yeah, and I think they might be doing a redo and streamlining it. Good Lord.
I don't know. I've not heard. I occasionally look at Tony Boydell's blog on Board Game Geek, and he's not mentioned it.
No, maybe not. Maybe I'm just making that up.
All he does is collect old board games, old really crap board games, and put them in this museum, and think that people should be interested in it, and gets a little bit upset when people don't donate to his museum. It's like, well, Tony, it's a bunch of crap, I'm afraid.
Look at you spouting Tony. I don't know Tony.
No, I only vaguely know him, but he speaks his mind. So in my view, that should be
in honor of him. You're speaking yours.
You get it back, and he's been very unpleasant to a couple of my friends in the past.
Oh well, then a friend of the enemy of my friend is my enemy.
Enemies and friends.
The
enemy of my friend is my lover. Isn't that the saying?
The friend of my enemy is my also enemy's friend. Is what I always say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I've played nothing. But I do have my wife's niece. Oh, it's her second cousin. It's her cousin's daughter.
Oh, this is fascinating stuff.
We need to get the family tree
down. Get
lineage.
Out. Ancestry.com.
Get the lineage going. 23andMe, my wife's cousin's daughter.
Hey, I've got an interesting story which is about my family scandal, which I probably shouldn't really share regarding Ancestry.com. But go on, carry on.
Anyway, she's getting wed, and they have asked me to be the DJ because I DJ'd a friend's anniversary party back April of last year.
Nice.
And by DJ, I mean play my Spotify playlist.
You should load it with inappropriate songs like.
Lots of Marvin Gaye. But no, they're
DIVORCE. That's what I'd play.
Yeah, no, but anyway, so yeah, I had discovered this DJ app, and that's literally what it's called on Apple. DJAY, and it used to go. So Spotify is this. Yeah, nobody cares about this. This is why we don't have any listeners. But Spotify refuses to cooperate with anything.
Yeah, they're irritating me, and that's why you don't have any listeners as well. Spotify, I'd just like to point out.
Yeah, so
but I've got a big rant about Spotify, which I'm going to use I'm going to use your podcast.
We'll get to your Spotify rant in here momentarily. So I had this DJ app, and I was like, so I had to move everything from this Spotify playlist because the young lady that graduated, she sent me all her music. I added in some of mine, lots of line dancing, some couple, you got to mix it up. You got to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I transferred all that over to Tidal, which is it's the one Jay-Z started, and it's not very popular. Like it's hard to find something. Anyway, nobody cares. But for whatever reason, this DJ app, I can open it, and within that app, you can open Tidal, transfer everything to the app, and the app will like automatically like DJ, like do mixes for you.
Right.
And it does these transitions, like do, 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 and goes into the next song.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. It's really cool sounding. And there's no like stopping the music. There's no lulls. It's just nonstop. Bam, 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 bam,
There's
bam.
more to that than being a DJ. You need to read the room. You need to put the right track on at the right time.
What I did was I wrote every song out. I played them like, okay, we have this many, so for the graduation party, it was a bunch of young single kids. So I'm like, they're not going to be into these old country couple dancing. They want to get out there and jam and get their, dance on.
Were they quite ugly? Is that why they were single? Is that...
No, they're young. They're children, Dan.
I thought you said young at the graduation. I thought that's like 18, isn't it?
You want them to be married at 18?
No, girlfriends and boyfriends, surely at that age.
Well, I mean, no, for this group of kids, I guess they're living the single life.
Guess they're really ugly. Okay, carry on.
I DJ'd an ugly party.
Yeah. Was it called the Ugly Bugs Ball?
At midnight, they go back in their pumpkins. Anyway, so the vibe for a graduation party is different than a vibe for a wedding.
Yes.
Because at the graduation party, lots of young hip music, but at a party, there's going to be lots of older families and couples. Well,
you need stuff that everyone will go to the dance floor for. You need some standards. Whereas a graduation, they don't care about ABBA, do they? They don't want ABBA.
Yeah, no. So it was, but everyone was real satisfied with my DJing at the party. They said it was a nice mix. There was line dancing, there was single dancing, there was couples dancing, there was two-stepping, there was all the above.
Good. That's what you want to hear, isn't it? When you say, how was my DJing? It was satisfactory.
Satisfactory. So then this young lady, she's like, would you mind doing our wedding as well? I'm like, sure.
I thought we'd finish the story. Okay, go on. So we're on to a wedding now.
So
okay.
Now the wedding. So now but now I have all this music from the graduation. Like some of it's applicable because all of this young generation, at least around here, they love line dancing. Like that's all they do is line dances. And there's dances I've never heard of before.
I thought that was like the 90s.
No, it's back, baby. It's back.
Oh, okay.
So many, the Flex and the Men in Black song. And
it's very TikToky though, line dancing, isn't it? It's like you do a set dance, which is what they do on the TikToks. They do these dances on the TikToks. These choreographed.
Listen to these two old white men talking about TikTok dances.
What?
Two grizzled old bearded white men talking about the kids and their dancing.
I do TikTok dances for Cora, but she is absolutely mortified. She's hilarious. Anyway, go on, carry on.
I was gonna. How old is Cora now?
13.
Oh, good Lord! I didn't realize she was that young.
Mm.
What was she, 8 when y'all made Cora Quest?
About 5 years ago, yeah.
Wow. And now she's completely done with board gaming.
She really has, actually, to be fair.
You burned her out. You burned her out.
That's what happens when they turn teenage. You lose them, and then they come back again in a few years. So, yeah. You don't lose them, but you certainly have more difficulty finding them. Actually, you don't have difficulty finding them. They're in the rooms. That's what they are.
They're on their phones looking at TikTok.
Looking at the
TikToks. Comes about full circle. But anyway, so I have to.
Are we still doing this story? You're at a wedding.
So the stress of finding good music and being a good DJ is upon me. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, so you've not done the wedding. I can send you a list I can send you a list.
Well, then send it. I need all the good wedding songs that would be good for couples dancing as well as a variety.
Do couples dance at weddings? They don't in the UK.
Oh, yeah,
they
because...
just get really drunk and everyone just kind of dances. Usually it's kind of... I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to a wedding. I'm not a very wedding person, to be honest.
No, let's say
Mr. Brightside. That's what you want to put on.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like the Killers. But that's not my favorite one. I like the one about are we human or are we dancer?
Yeah,
makes no sense.
As well?
Makes no sense. Yeah, it's Killers.
Okay. Yeah, but that'll do as well. But I think Mr. Brightside is more kind of cheerful. So
yeah.
Yay.
That's the bright side. Even though if you listen,
that's probably why they called it that.
It's the brighter side of dancing.
It is deep.
It's very deep.
Knew?
So, what have you been up to? Go ahead about your Spotify hatred.
Oh no! I just think the reason, because I've heard a lot of podcasters talk about how their numbers are dropping, and there's two reasons for this, and they're both to do with Spotify. Most people are now listening to podcasts on Spotify, I think, or certainly a lot more than ever used to. And number one, that means they don't download your podcast to the phone and then never bother listening to it, because they only give you a download number when they press play, as opposed to have it download, and that's when it would previously give you when it stored it on your device. Yeah. That's the first reason Spotify's, and that's not a bad reason, it's more accurate numbers. But the second reason, and this is why I'm furious at Mr. Spotify, is when on the homepage, it only ever shows you the big podcasts that have got new episodes out. Never shows you the little ones. Certainly not me. Look, and so it only shows you like 6 new episodes. So you don't realise that a week ago the Board Game Snobs dropped an episode and you don't find it, and then therefore you don't listen to it. So that's why I think it's the algorithms. Algorithms, don't get me started on that. Algorithms have ruined the internet.
Yeah.
I was talking to Kerry the other day about how the internet used to be so much more valuable, like in 2005. And
for the little man. For the little man. And now it's just 4 corporations wringing cash out of you. That's all it is. There used to be thousands of sites. The world was at your feet. You went all over the internet. You discovered things. You kind of, you followed one link to another link and another link. And you found little gems and you became focused. Now, 4 sites you go to. You go to YouTube, you go to Facebook, you go to X or Twitter, you go to Instagram, and that's it. Yeah. That's it. And Amazon. What other sites do you? Maybe a news site or 2, but what other sites do you look at data? You just hemmed in by these bloody multi-billionaires. If you're not on one of those, then like your little blog sites, your movie sites, your TV sites, nobody's going to www. whatever anymore.
No, so you have to do it all on their platforms. You have to do it all on YouTube channels. You have to do it all on Facebook. You have to put your things on Facebook to be seen. You have to put your photos on Instagram. You can't have your photos on your own site.
You got to have a link.
So the democratization of media is being grasped back by the corporations and made even worse in that you have to use their platforms to give your creativity and then line their pockets of people who really, really don't need any more money. So come the revolution, that's who's Zuckerberg, Bezos, bloody Musk, first against the wall. That's what I say.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. It's like I don't look at anything else, and I'm not looking at any site I happen to discover, it would be through one of those big 4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And you don't go back to that site either. You just stay on those big 4.
Yeah.
And you don't go, oh, this is a good site, I'll bookmark it. Who does that? Anyway, that's my complaint.
Yeah, it's a valid one.
That's faint. I don't know if it's political or not.
It's not political. Yeah. It's worldwide.
Probably political with a low P.
Anti-capitalism, maybe? I don't.
Yeah, baby. Let's come the revolution. The new communist revolution.
When is this revolution going to happen, by the way?
Oh, it's not going to happen.
The rebellion.
Maybe probably will get to be a rebellion before it can be a revolution. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I've been doing really well. I've been I'm happy. I've been going on more walks than I used to do. I've lost quite a bit of weight. I'm doing well.
I can see that. I can see your gaunt face.
I wouldn't describe myself as gaunt.
Your face is gaunt.
Well,
compared to what I was used to seeing pop up.
I'm gaunter than I was. I've lost 40 pounds at this point.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm gaunter than I am. It's one of those things where you've lost 40 pounds, but it's like, but other people would be starting from my point now.
Yeah, I know.
So it's quite hard to get too excited about it because it's like, I've lost 40 pounds. I'm back to where I thought I was hideous and revolting when I was 45.
So what was the weight when we were doing well-rounded gentlemen as to where you're at now?
I don't know, actually. I think I was probably about 30 pounds heavier. So I put on like 10 pounds and then I've lost 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
I'm
happy to talk about how I did it, unless you don't want me to talk about how I did it.
Please, go ahead.
No, because a lot of people don't talk about how it's done.
No.
I've been taking that Mounjaro, which is the injection, the GP1, is it, or GP2? Anyway, GLP that slows down your digestive system and also helps with your balance of your blood sugars. And it has been like a miracle has hit me, Gaby. Really has. It's been absolutely incredible. It's not that I don't have to have an effort to lose weight, and that's I still am having to make an effort, have to make right choices, have to do more exercise, all that kind of stuff. But it's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
It is hard. It's not torture.
Right.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I most definitely I personally, as a longtime searcher outer of the miracle pill, I'm pro Mounjaro, I'm pro Ozempic, I'm pro whatever it takes.
I think the people who are anti it are people who think that fat is a moral issue.
Yeah.
That's everyone I've encountered who's anti it is usually one of the is often somebody who thinks people need to suffer to be punished for getting fat in the first place. No, I honestly believe that is what's behind their objections. They can dress it up saying, "Oh, you're taking medication away from diabetics." Like, oh, you bollocks! Basically, they're making lots more, and they'll be very happy because they're making lots of money on it. And I'm paying for mine, so it's not like I'm draining our health service.
Right.
And there are risks with it. But you make an informed choice, and to tell you what, there's a lot of risk with being the way I was as well.
Good Lord! Like being fat's one of the highest risk things you can be.
But if you think it's cheating, and if you think it's wrong for people to get a medical tool to help them lose weight, you need to have a long, hard look at yourself and work out why you think that. Because if it's about these people need to do it properly, these people need to suffer and learn their lesson. And the other argument that people sometimes say is, "Oh, well, you'll just put it back on again." Well, that's every diet. Every diet there's a risk of you putting it back on again. Trust me, I know. I've put weight back on after a diet.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know people because it's just the backlash to anything becoming super, super popular.
Yeah.
There's always backlash, no matter what it is. I mean, I took phentermine from like 2016. Phentermine is literally, I think it's an amphetamine. It was speed. And that's what they used to dole out and probably still do. They dole it out to you, and it really was an appetite suppressant. It sped up your metabolism. And I felt, my wife called it my crack. She's like, that was you. Like, I would come home and I wasn't hungry. I felt like jogging. I felt like doing all these. I felt wonderful. Not because of me. It's because of this drug. And I've often been pro drug because I'm like, if you have drugs that make you feel probably how most humans should feel at their peak state, with energy, and you feel good, and I want to do things. I want to go for a walk. I want to go for a run. Food isn't just now in my present state. And my mother was a large woman. She has been a large woman almost her entire life since I was born. And her mother was a large woman. So it's like, okay, I have these genetics.
What about her mother?
Her mother before her, I'm unfamiliar with, unfortunately.
Okay, what about the next one along as well?
So, I mean, probably a large group of people throughout my heritage
Right. Okay.
And but so I have genetics for one. Then you have the mental side where when I'm bored, when I'm stressed, whatever, I'm thinking of food.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think the thing that this thing does is I mean, sometimes for some people it stops them being hungry at all, and that's never happened to me. But what it does is just stop you obsessing about food. And I don't think that's a normal thing. I think that's, granted, something I've done to myself, damage of overeating over the years and being greedy. I don't deny it. But I think I've damaged my metabolism, my brain, my whatever to constantly be thinking about food. They call it food noise in the kind of community. And that just constant, when am I eating next? What am I going to have for food? I feel a bit peckish. All that kind of stuff's just gone. Just absolutely gone.
I need it. I need it shot right into my veins right now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking into it a little bit, and it is very unfair because it's very expensive in America. It's not as expensive anywhere else. And there's something weird going on with American pharmaceuticals, and it's not fair. And I don't think it's America's fault per se. Well, I don't think it's America's fault, but there's a problem there, and America is paying a lot more for their medication than absolutely everywhere else is.
It was. I actually did look into it like a year or so ago because Sade, she worked at it was a pain clinic and also like a weight loss clinic. I don't know. And they did the shots, and I called them, and they're like, "Oh, it was like several $100s for the first shot, several $100s for the next shot." I'm like, I can't afford that, so I opted out.
That's too much. Over here, it's about one. I'm paying about 150 quid a month, which is money.
That's not bad at all.
But it's so that's what, $200 a month. I mean, you got to remember we get paid less than you, so it scales.
Yeah.
The average wage in the UK is significantly lower than the average wage in America, but still, no, it's worth it.
So
to me,
so a lot of when people want to lose weight and then they lose weight, they say, okay, do you feel like you thought you'd feel mentally? Do you feel better?
I feel a lot better mentally, yeah, but I don't know whether that's just a cycle of me feeling better mentally, because that happens to me as well. And also, I'm still very overweight, Gaby. We can't overestimate how fat I am, and so I need to lose at least twice what I've lost, and that's a low, I mean, it's probably about 3 times what I lost before I'm into the BMI of healthy. So I'm still morbidly obese,
I could lose 100 pounds and still be morbidly obese is my problem.
Yeah. Well, that's a similar kind of thing. I mean, me and you have been similar weights at the start, I think. So yeah, but I do feel better. I do feel a lot better. I don't feel disabled by my weight anymore. I just feel fat, if that makes any sense. It got to a point where I felt I wasn't able to do things. And I thought, this is crap. I don't like not being able to do things.
I mean, I've gotten to welcome to Well-Rounded Gentlemen. I see Luke out there still pumping iron, but I've done it to myself. This is a whole psychological,
we all know we've done it to
mental
ourselves.
thing.
That's fine. We can take that as given. It's our fault. We all accept that responsibility. Now we need to move on from that, and and so you do what you do.
And the thing is, for me, this is my cycle. This is my cycle that I go through on a weekly basis almost. You determine, as all fellow fatties do, you start on Monday, right?
Yeah.
We're going to start on Monday. You start off on Monday, you might do good Monday. By Tuesday, you're worn down from work. You're stressed out a little bit.
Yeah. You look at the scales, you haven't lost 10 pounds.
Yeah, I've ordered 20 or 30 or 50. I'm not skinny yet. What the crap? So then you're faced with this seemingly insurmountable amount of weight you need to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You're hungry. You've had a stressful day. I'm going to have myself a drink. When I drink, I get hungry. So I'll have a couple drinks. Well, then I'm getting hungry. And then I'm eating late at night when I shouldn't be eating. I should be in bed. But I don't want to go to bed because I worked 8 hours that day or however many hours. And I want to have some me time. So I stay up late watching TV. And because I'm watching TV, well, I like to munch on something. So then I munch on something, and therefore I'm morbidly obese still. And my scale, my average just keeps nudging up, nudging up, and I'm at my fattest I've ever been.
And what you consider to be your normal? It's like I only do stones, but I've always been fat. But what I considered to be my kind of normal was 18 stone, which is way, way fatter than I should be. But then it gets to 19 stone as your normal, and you get back to that and you go, all right, I'm all right now. And then, 20 and then 21, and it got to 23 stone at the end of it all, which is, I don't know how much pounds. But
I think a stone is 15 pounds.
A stone is 14 pounds, yeah.
Okay, so 14 times 23.
I was a bit over 23, actually.
Okay, so, 322 pounds is what it's showing.
Yeah.
But
so
you're also, what, 6'3"?
I'm 6'2".
6'2"?
So I'm currently at, because I changed it into pounds because I thought we'd talk about it. I started at 325 pounds, and I'm currently at 287 pounds.
Very good. Yeah, see, I yearn to hit 300. If I can hit 300, I'll be doing good.
Well, it was nice when I hit 300, and it'll be nice when I go under 20 stone again as well. That's not so far away. That's only about 7 pounds off. So, yes.
Unfortunately, I mean, a lot of the modern day lifestyle, and I think this, as we did with Well-Rounded Gentlemen, the podcast, there's about 3 or 4 of them episodes out there somewhere, I'm sure. But it was me, Dan, and Luke Pryor from GameFound. And we discussed our issues with fighting being overweight. And that's an issue I would say that if you go to a board game convention, you'll see that many of our fellow brethren have.
Yeah.
And the lifestyle is, for me, I work all day sitting. My watch tells me, hey, you need to stand up, fatty. Get up. Move your body for 1 minute, at least an hour. So my watch will tell me, hey, stand up. I ignore it because I'm busy. But I work remotely. I'm in a chair all day. Then I go sit in my lazy chair and watch TV on my breaks. And then I get back in my chair and go back to work. And then after work, I get back in my chair and eat dinner. And that's just it. So I know there's an active lifestyle. And we accept, us fatties accept responsibility for our actions. I know I did this to myself. And when I was a young man, I wasn't fat until I got married.
Yeah.
I was very active. I played tennis. I played basketball. I played all the sports nonstop. Me and my best friend would play. But as soon as I got married, I started getting overweight because responsibilities change, interests change.
I blame your wife. That's who I blame.
It's Gina's fault. It's absolutely Gina's fault.
Absolutely. You're an innocent victim.
I am innocent of my morbidity. But anyway, so, the fight continues. My mother was on every diet ever. She did keto before it was keto, when it was called Atkins. She did, 1 meal a day. She did Weight Watchers back in the 80s. I mean, that's just my mom. Well, like I often say,
they just fell for bankruptcy, haven't they, Weight Watchers?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. When I really do think Weight Watchers does have one of the better weight loss programs, more well-rounded. And they now their new program does promote like whole food, quality food. They give you all these free points for like vegetables and fruits and even like lean meats like pork and chicken. Because I've been on it recently. My wife is always on it. My wife lost like 60 pounds on an older version of Weight Watchers where you just had these points, not the free points. Anyway, so yeah, it's just been a struggle that I continue to fight. And on my breaks, I have a block I walk around, which by the time I walk around that block, my break is over. So it's about a 10-minute walk. And on my lunch period, I try to go walking for like a mile or so and then come home, eat my lunch, go back to work. It's just, it's tough. It's
not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's difficult. And who knows? I mean, I'm feeling positive now, but I've also felt positive during diets before. I'm not saying this is definitely going to be the miracle, but it's felt less torturous than it ever has done before.
So here's the thing, Daniel. And yes. I experienced this when I was on phentermine. I lost 90 pounds. I was, like I said, I was able to jog 10 miles at one point. I was in fantastic shape.
I'm not doing that. I'll tell you that much.
Well, this was 10 years ago, so I was a much younger man. And I felt wonderful. I felt good. Phentermine, you develop a resistance against. So it stopped working. And slowly over the years, the weight has just crept back on, and now I'm heavier than I've ever been. What is there like an end game, a end point?
No, some people are saying they're going to keep on it for the rest of their life, and that's as far as I'm aware, that's a valid thing. I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. The end game would be to slowly come off it and try and control the hunger as it comes back.
Yeah.
Really. So we'll see. We'll see.
So that's what they say is the tough part is, okay, the medicine, whether it be whatever medicine you're on, because phentermine is the same thing for me, like it controlled my mental state for me because I didn't think about food like I did without it. So if you were to come off this medicine, well, then the mental things comes back of where's my next snack? Where's my next dinner?
But I suppose what I'm hoping is that because theoretically, and as I say, and I know I can't see into the future, but I feel more optimistic about it than I ever have done. Theoretically, I'm going to be a much healthier weight. I won't have that battle in front of me, if that makes any sense. It'll be easier because I'm there already.
Right.
It would be like when, because I'm also very determined never to get back to the state I've been in recently because A, I'm 50 years old. I'm going to die if I don't sort something out. And B, well, that's basically it, really. I don't want to die. Yeah, no.
That's not wanting to die is pretty good motivation.
Yeah. Well, it goes from kind of not wanting to be more, I don't know, accepted or physically attractive or whatever to one not wanting to die, and one's a bit more motivated than the other, especially seeing as though I've already trapped my wife. and she's assured me she doesn't care what she looked like, otherwise she wouldn't have married me in the first place.
Yeah. Well,
so
she sounds like a good person. Well, congratulations. I'm glad you're feeling better and looking better and doing better. Because I mean, you do. Everyone looks better thinner. It's just a fact. I have like so many clothes I could wear if I wasn't fat, like in my skin, all the clothes you put aside saying one day I'll get back into them. No, I'm a long ways from fitting. And in fact, I'm
looking forward to getting back in my flares.
I'm wearing a t-shirt now that was deep in the closet. My wife drug it out. She's like, do you still want, it's a Superman graphic tee, but it's way snugger than it used to be.
Yeah.
But I like it because, again, another issue of the fat man, this is the fat man episode, is, having a t-shirt that covers the underbelly. Because, you get to that point when the bottom of your gut hangs out of your shirts. I don't know if you got there yet. Probably not.
No, I didn't quite get there. But I've got a problem where my trousers fall down my crack on my bum, and everyone points and laughs at you, and you're thinking, I literally can't do anything about it.
No matter how tight I make this belt.
No matter how tight, even suspenders don't stop it happening. So you're just basically laughing and joking about a man struggling with his self-esteem already. It really annoys me, actually.
We're a tormented people.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, socially.
Yeah. But there'll be people who believe, and there are people out there who believe that we should be tormented because how dare we?
Jerry's probably one of them. Jerry torments me.
I would suspect Jerry wouldn't approve of me taking Monjaro.
I mean, no, actually, okay. Well, so when 2 years ago, I went to the doctor. We're going to keep this going because we're almost done, and you need to go soon anyway. So 2 years ago, I went to the doctor for my blood work and all that stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, you're fat, but we cannot give you this shot here in America because you do not have diabetes. It's one of those drugs. It's not marketed for weight loss yet." But she recommended one of these weight loss clinics up here that are allowed to give it to you for weight loss. I don't understand how that crap works. Jerry calls it a black labeled drug or something.
Gray, I think. Gray label.
Gray label. And so it's like, we can't use it for this. So therefore your proper primary physician can't give it to you, but you can go over here and they can give it to you for several $100s more. So that's just the scam that the health industry is. And I never did go because, I did call about it and of course couldn't get it. But anyway, so, but I had asked Jerry because he said a bunch of the nurses were on it there where he worked and they were all losing weight and doing great and all this stuff. And, I asked him about it, and he didn't have nothing negative to say. But then he did.
Oh, I apologize to Jerry then.
No, but that was 2 years ago. I'm sure he's come up with stuff since then. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's darned if you do, darned if you don't. I could be fat and die of a heart attack, or I can take this shot that is the quote unquote easy way out.
And at my work, I think there's 25 of us in my team, and 7 of us are on this. And the only reason I know is because I've been open about being on it, and people have told me they're on it too. I think a lot of people are on it. I think it's working for a lot of people as well.
I actually know some people that have lost a tremendous amount of weight lately, and you ask them about it, and they're like just very vague. And I think there's trepidation about, I'm on the shot, which is sad.
Because there's negative attitudes amongst people. But and also, fair enough, you don't have to share these things. But I as I say, I'm happy to share it because although it may attract heat, I do believe quite strongly that there's that the people who are giving you heat should have a long, hard look at themselves in the mirror.
Like, why are you worried about me when you should?
Why are you
be
worried
happy
about me?
For me? Now, the one thing I would advise, as I've listened to all the YouTube influencers, is you got to increase your protein and work out so that you don't lose any muscle mass.
I've never understood that. Why? What's the problem with losing muscle? As long as you're not kind of flopping around the floor, not able to move. I know muscle uses more calories than blah 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 blah. But you don't
want to lose muscle mass, and they also mentioned bone density.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it is around the speed in which you lose,
right? Because
some people it does completely stop their appetite. As I say, it hasn't done that for me. It just makes me feel full before I know I would have done otherwise. So I'm eating normal human beings portions, basically. When I use I generally I have a large salad bowl that I put everything in. I don't know what y'all call them in the UK, but it's a large bowl, generally for a salad for a family. Yeah, I'm no, this is what I want my beans and stuff in, or my spaghetti. And my wife's like, babe, maybe try a smaller portion. Yeah. But I don't like stirring things and have it dripping out the sides. So I like a large bowl. But anyway, I had somewhere I was going with that right before that. But I lost my train of thought because I got distracted with the bowls. The bowls. No. I was just saying. I can't remember what I was saying either. So, some people lose weight really rapidly, and that is really bad for you. I'm losing weight. I think I've read somewhere that 1% of your body weight a week is about as maximum as you can possibly. Maximum that's safe at all to go to, and I'm under that. So, and I'm drinking lots of water because not drinking enough water that can cause pancreatitis.
You've cut back on your Diet Coke consumption.
Don't drink it anymore. That's the other thing. There's weird stuff that I just don't fancy anymore. This is really sparkling water. That's all I drink now.
Any negative side effects like nausea?
Constipation. That's it. That's it, but not horrific.
I could use some of that, actually. I go to the bathroom way too frequently. The TMI episode.
Tiny bit of heartburn now and again, but very rarely. But just a bit of constipation. But how much of that is me not eating as much, so not needing to get rid of it as much as well? I mean, the thing that's causing constipation is eating much more protein.
And also, I was hearing that the one of the guys said any diet, not just this, they said any diet where you lose weight quickly, you're going to experience the same side effects of muscle loss, bone loss as this thing. So it's just take care of yourself. Try to do what you can to prevent it.
It's just the losing of the weight, but on balance of it needs to go. So yeah.
I'm with you, Dan. I wish you all the best, and we can go ahead and close this thing up because you need to.
Jolly good. 3 months later, 3 months time, I'll come back and I'll be rake thin. I'll be.
I want to see your abs.
I think you'll have to find them underneath the loose skin. There you go. There's my punishment for you. There's no way I'm getting away without. If I do get down to a target weight, there's no way I'm going to get away without some kind of kilt around me.
A flesh kilt.
Yeah. And I can't afford the the skin reduction
Oh,
surgery.
no.
So rest assured, you'll still look better than me naked, so don't worry.
Yeah. Feel better about yourselves out there,
Yeah, baby.
naturalers, people. All right. Well, Dan, I appreciate you coming on. And
I'm sorry I wasn't
filling
as
this
entertaining as
time.
I usually am. I do apologize.
Oh, you were fantastic as always, Daniel. Don't cut yourself short. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you, Daniel. Say hi to Michael DeLizio. I'll see him in September. That'll be my first time ever seeing.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Meeting Mike in person. I look so much forward to that. And the rest of the team there at the Dice
He's
Tower
not much
Retreat.
fun in person.
Well, no.
He's a lot shorter than you. He comes up to your knees.
I know. I've seen the pictures. I'm going to pick him up and swing him around. I've said it for years. And I'm going to film it from my perspective and put lovely romantic music to it.
Oh, it'll be beautiful.
It'll be beautiful.
I'm looking forward to the video.
All right. Until next time, when I have Daniel as my primary guest host, I'm Gaby.
I'm Daniel, or Dan, as I prefer to be called.
Why not Daniel?
I don't mind. Don't know. Because that song by Elton John.
Did your mother call you Daniel?
My mother and father combined, I think. Yeah. That's how I got the name. They have to tell the birth certificate people. They don't.
I know, but was Dan like something they called you, or did they say Daniel?
No, it was always Dan. I've never been anything but Dan.
Really?
Anywhere. Yeah.
All right. Well, until then.
On that bombshell.
Have a good.
That exciting bit of. We saved the lead to last there, didn't we? We saved the absolute cream of the crop, the most interesting part of the podcast. Sadly, it really was the most interesting part of the podcast.
How
right to the
dare
end.
you? That's why we're not Board Game Geek nominated. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tolerating this episode of the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.